it's that time for you to give it your all to shoot your shot. However, while losing is experienced by every person that has ever lived, it's how you grow from these experiences that truly can make a person special. And so, Hina, you're on pause because today's episode, it's all about the girl
that I dream about every day,
with the sweat dripping off the perfect release of her two-handed jumper. Yes, Kano Chinatsu. Ippon! She may have been taking L's, but what she will confide in will be a win. For this video, we are going to be covering Blue Box episode 15, Hachigatsu 26 nichi. After the duality of two very massive climactic moments,
ski.
This episode's pace slows it down just a bit, and we get to focus on our main heroine. After a devastating end for the hopeful teenage hoop star, Chinatsu hitting a clunker in the biggest moment of her life. It's natural that post-non-clutch trauma would leave her feeling like a total dumpster can.
お誕生日おめでとうございます。
Bad timing? Sure, but it's still our main heroine's birthday after catching consecutive L's to finally sit back, relax, and take back what's rightfully hers. With the power of friendship, you can feel more special than any AI ChatGPT friend you can concoct. You see that? That shirt was made with the love of your bare hands, plastered onto a t-shirt, because Chinatsu has good friends that care for her and know how to make a lady feel like she matters. The hook of this episode tells us this one thing. It's going to be a very special episode for our Hoop Dreams waifu that's ready to bounce back after an episode filled with disappointment and conflicting feelings. It's happening again at practice. Taiki is staring at our hoop star. Kyo states the obvious that it's a girl's birthday, in which Taiki is totally racking his brain over what exactly to give Chinatsu, because good luck wasn't one of them. Noticing that Chinatsu has been down lately, he didn't think she would be in such a great mood. But no! There's no such thing as unhappiness on your birthday, because you get what you want. Uh-oh, it's our favorite gymnast waifu that courageously poured her heart out to confess how she truly feels. Me and you, alone, outside of this door. Kyo's face says it all, as the mood and vibes have been quite awkward lately. Taiki states the obvious to Hina that he likes hooper chicks, not chicks that can do splits and wear leotards.
Who do you think I am? A normal guy?
There's nothing hotter than a girl with a baggy white tee and shorts that go beyond the knees.
Are you sure you're okay with this, Hina?
Of course. Hina has stated before she confessed her feelings to Taiki, knowing he likes the girl that tries her best but doesn't come up clutch.
Like me, I took third.
Knowing full well that Hina understands the ramifications of her confession, Taiki has yet to completely deny her. So there is technically a chance for Hina to put the brakes on your boy and seduce him. To be honest, this is probably something that we shouldn't say out loud, but Hina is totally plan B. If plan A doesn't work out, I also would like to know what you guys think. How many people that are in a relationship right now actually was able to convince the other person to like them? Because this is Hina's situation right now. Yo, since it's the fearsome team of 3 close homies, is at stake here and is posted on the wall to overhear their conversation. We should absolutely stereotype Kyo's Megane because he sees right through Hina's bullfoolery. Because a girl that likes a guy that doesn't like you back that likes another girl is never going to be okay to the girl that likes the guy that doesn't like her back. Don't let these women fool you with words with a man when a man with 4 eyes sees 2 times better. It's our girl Chinatsu back at practice, making sure everyone passes her the ball so she can practice overcoming not being clutch. Even her coach be like,
dude, there's 2 people on you.
Swing the ball to the open man. Nagisa, her b-ball bestie, has her back, with all the upperclassmen leaving to train to become salary women. It's all up to everyone to make sure they pass the ball back to Chinatsu so she can prove that she can actually be clutch. Or it's the fact that everyone else is too scared to shoot the shot? Or no one else has a jumper? Or it's because Chinatsu is our main heroine. Look at that sweat dripping off that two-handed jumper. It's something Taiki finds attractive and admirable, like in the previous episode. From missing the pressure shot to becoming the literal position of pressure, that is, Fuku Captain. Although being a leader isn't necessarily Chinatsu's thing, the squad, including the Kohais, respect her, and she has gotten Yoshitani Senpai and her coach's blessing. Chinatsu is back at the gym like it's episode 1 again, doing everything she can to make sure she can make the next shot.
誕生日おめでとう。
Chinatsu's mom calls her to build this mother-daughter bonding character development time. It's the post-game pep talk that goes over the reality of sports. Hard work doesn't mean you're a winner, but it does mean you build character. That makes it easier to be a winner. Chinatsu tells her mother that she became vice captain and how unfit she feels being in this position, but her mother delivers the wisdom she needs, as maybe she can change her mind if it actually goes wrong. But it's better to give it your best shot, and that it's okay to rely on others when you find yourself struggling. Basically, she's saying that it's okay to pass the ball when 3 people are guarding you, when you're trapped in a corner at the same time. Isn't it fun when people pass you the ball for the last shot, for you to take that last jumper? With the clock winding down, and it's all up to you. It's a good thing when people rely on you because you are reliable. So Chinatsu, struggling, feeling down and out, it's her time to rely on someone else and confide in. So who does she pull up on her phone? A penguin! Taiki! Freaking creeper right behind her on her birthday when she's at her most vulnerable. But what he doesn't realize is that penguin emote is his ticket to get on the train with Chinatsu, and on the train they go as Chinatsu is glistening in the wind, telling your boy
どこかに行きたい。
with the fireworks festival incident revealing more about her true feelings, Karen's reappearance to indirectly solidify that Chinatsu likes Taiki, with Chinatsu at her most vulnerable, seeing him with Hina, and now on her birthday. What she wants is to be with Taiki. When your competition makes a move, it makes you want to speed up and make your move. And this is the most direct that Chinatsu has ever been with Taiki, with their feelings. It's kind of funny that Karen, a couple of episodes ago, basically is telling Taiki, hey, you should make your move, but it ends up being Chinatsu that takes the initiative. This is a loss that can be turned into a win situation. We all know what trope this is. It's the beginning of love, as Taiki brings Chinatsu to the beach of his choosing, where less clothing is necessary. Getting off the train, Chinatsu puts on that biggest smile we have ever seen her put on as she rushes out to the beach in glistening purity under the glowing yellow sun. Taking off articles of clothing not suited for moistness, the sun is shining brighter than a diamond, slowly setting into a moment of the beginnings of the romantic lore between Chinatsu and Taiki, with the sparkles of the sun reflecting the power of love off of the water. Chinatsu invites Taiki into the sea of romance. Taiki sit too much of his bad luck key as he points out to Chinatsu about her missing anklet, and Chinatsu responds that Taiki was just doing too much, and that body heat would have been good enough. And so for Taiki's punishment for his bad luck, he must get wet. I'm with these two Oji-sans. What is this date of pure bliss and harmony, resulting in a climactic touch of body heat? Taiki ropes Chinatsu into an unintended trap that gets her to almost fall into his arm. But he grabs her arm, creating shockwaves of warm fuzzies into the waning of the sun's rays, as it is replaced with the warmth of a growing romantic connection that the ocean's water is conducting right now. Chinatsu stops Taiki in his tracks to tell him,
I don't want to get wet yet.
and so Taiki topples over from stepping on a clamshell, getting himself wet first, making himself look totally uncool, as he must put on some spare clothing. With the sun finally setting and the birthday date coming to an unfortunate end, Taiki pulls out something clutch to top off an amazing night. And it's a birthday cake! You have to have some skills to carry around an entire birthday cake the entire night. Even before getting on the train, what kind of romantic wizardry is this? Taiki pulls out 2 candles, signifying that Chinatsu is finally 17 years old, 1 year more before becoming a fully fledged adult. Chinatsu mentions that Taiki and herself are now 2 years apart, but Taiki quickly responds with,
Age ain't nothing but a number.
this totally works because double standards, as the girl is older. Out of nowhere, Taiki starts singing the birthday song to Chinatsu.
Go shawty, it's your birthday.
The wind cuts short this romantic cringe, but Taiki asks for consent to continue it further. But she's totally like,
No, let it go.
Chinatsu continues to call out Taiki for his corniness as he brings up that his anklet is going to break too, thus having matching bare ankles. Oh, would you look at this? Fortunately, a storm comes raining down on this romance, and so you know what that means? It's one of our favorite romantic tropes. It's
A single hotel room.
It turns out that there has been a landslide, meaning the trains are inoperable right now and has prevented this birthday date from ending way too soon, leading these 2 lovebirds to take their romance to a hotel. Taiki is acting like a total square. He's sharing a room with a girl he likes, but he's more worried that he had to lie to his parents about lodging in a room alone with Chinatsu, but instead said he's with the squad. Taiki will try his best to be a gentleman and not pop a good one in the middle of the night. Chinatsu comes out looking like, oh, he's gonna have incredible urges, alright? As Chinatsu comes out with the yukata on and brings with her some wholesome games. Just you and me and you. Asobo. With Ono. Playing cards and dice? Are they about to gamble with some articles of clothing or something? For some reason, Taiki thought this sleepover would ruin Chinatsu's birthday, but all it did was enhance it, as she couldn't be any happier playing board games with her future man. As Chinatsu shuffles the cards, she gets a phone call from her b-ball bestie, Nagisa. What you doing?
Nothing, chillin' at the Holiday Inn.
No one is going to understand this reference, but that's just me showing my age and Chinatsu also lying to her friend. Chinatsu nonchalantly opens up FaceTime and Taiki curls up like a little Nagisa, being the b-ball bestie she is, wishes Chinatsu another happy birthday and sends her words of encouragement because of being down from hitting a brick when it mattered the most. But scratch that. Everything will be a-okay. Pressure is what helps make you stronger and gives you something to overcome. But it clearly looks like Chinatsu has totally gotten over it and is wearing a yukata that Taiki fantasized about. And Nagisa even teases Chinatsu that felt down about not being able to wear one at the festival. This gets Taiki startled, and he hits his head, knocking the cup over, but he clutches and catches the cup and then yelps right before Chinatsu can hang up the phone, in which Nagisa is fairly certain she heard a man's voice. What Kyo is to Taiki, Nagisa and Karen are to Chinatsu. Being surrounded by good people can feel like a luxury, but what it is totally a blessing. So good for her. These 2 finally address the 2 biggest elephants in the room on this perfect day in the lore of the beginning of Taiki and Chinatsu's romance. The festival with Hina,
The girl I totally don't like.
it was meant for a big group, but didn't end up that way for various reasons, and for that, Mr. Taiki apologizes to Chinatsu. Even though Chinatsu is super understanding, it doesn't feel like Taiki needs to apologize. Taiki is still a gentleman and feels the need to clear the air regarding the group date that ended up as a one-on-one date. So in return, Chinatsu apologizes for her own wishy-washiness, the boundary
I placed on you, Taiki.
In episode 10, that pissed everyone off, Thad made way for Hina to try to make her move.
So yeah, let me just take that back.
Look at how far these two have gotten already. Holding on to some arbitrary boundary would be contradicting, especially given how these two truly feel inside. The night ends with some games, and the morning begins with a whole new 17-year-old Chinatsu soaking in this very moment of imitating young Taiki sleeping alone in his chair. It's such a precious moment for a young budding love. If only make-believe can be this real. With the perfect ending credits that show Hina literally right after the last scene, your heart sinks from a feeling of the beginning of a blissful romance. But like in the previous episode, someone has to lose. This is the perfect back-to-back episode stretch that makes us feel the swing of the pendulum from Hina to Chinatsu, back to Hina. The fact that Taiki hasn't outright denied Hina's request just yet, it really does make us think that she is actually a viable option, at least right now. So that begs the biggest question: can you actually convince someone that doesn't like you to eventually like you? I'm sure it exists, and it does happen, and successful relationships do happen. But in this case for Taiki, we'll just have to see. There's actually the perfect character in this story that provides like this perfect middle ground for a situation like this. This is one of those episodes where the pacing does slow down quite a bit, that almost feels like we are to bask in this growing romance between Chinatsu and Taiki. You ever spent time with your partner or your ex-partner and just enjoyed those little moments of just doing menial things together? No matter how small the little events take place, this time together matters a lot more. The moments feel a lot bigger because you're sharing this moment with the person you actually like. And so Chinatsu and Taiki going out to the beach together and then spending a whole night together alone, just doing simple things like playing games. It's the kind of bond that is really irreplaceable. It's an episode grounded by your failures, but being able to confide in the people that care about you, and all of this eventually culminating into a birthday date. These are the kinds of episodes in a romance that I find more on the boring side from a male perspective, because of the pacing and because the previous episode had two major events happen simultaneously, with Chinatsu competing at nationals only to ultimately fail, and then Hina finally building up that courage to confess. It is actually a perfect contrast from such a heavy moment, two heavy moments in the previous episode. This is definitely an episode where I feel like is perfect for a female audience. However, that doesn't mean that this episode didn't give me some warm fuzzies, because it definitely did, because our MC finally made a giant leap forward in building this connection with Chinatsu, the girl he originally liked and still likes. It is a necessary part of romance to show the reality of how the beginnings of a teenage romance can legitimately look. So back-to-back episodes, we have two major events that are basically really big checkpoints for this entire story. And yeah, just let me know what you guys thought about this episode and everything up until this point. And do me a favor, guys, hit the like button for having good friends, and subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Check out my blog at otakusen.com, and I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.